Let's see if I can get into... I don't know if I want to spend the time to find 10 more rings. Nah, screw it. I don't care about Chaos Emeralds. I'm a rebel. I haven't actually looked, but I'm betting there's like 700 videos on YouTube where people collect all the Chaos Emeralds. So if you really want to see them, they're out there. Go ahead. Like I said, Super Sonic is not really impressive in this game. Oh crap, I'm down in the bottom now. I'm gonna go underwater. It's gonna suck. I'll go through this special stage. There, how do you like that? Yeah, this is gonna be the white one is the one that I start having problems with. Oh man, I was doing a test play earlier and I got to this stage and I got to the very end and it was like I needed one more ring and then I picked up like 2 rings and I was like sweet, I just passed that special stage on my first try, and then Tails ran into a bomb and dropped like 3 rings or whatever he was carrying, so I failed the special stage. Kinda like that. Yeah. Wow, that was bad. That was just depressing. How terrible that was. My goodness. What did I get? 36 points for going into that level? At least there's some rings right there. So, Sonic 3 levels, the special stages are giant rings that are hidden throughout the stages. So, excuse me, my nose itched right there. So, part of, if you want to collect all the rings, first of all, there's 7 Chaos Emeralds, then you've got to collect like 7 Master Emeralds, so you got to do the whole ordeal like twice. Whoops, yeah, kill you. I'm surprised that guy didn't hit me. That guy always hits me. See you later, Tails. I got places to be. So part of the game in Sonic 3, and then in Sonic and Knuckles, is knowing where the rings are. Like, you have to kind of hunt them out. It's like a treasure hunt. You should know where the secret passages and things are. And that's kind of indicative of all Sonic levels. They've all got these big, massive levels with multiple paths. And if you really wanted to, you could spend hours painstakingly exploring Sonic levels. I've never really been into that for a couple reasons. First of all, I much prefer just running in Sonic games. It's more fun for me. And if I end up on the bottom path, so be it. It's not that big a deal. But also, because the graphics in Sonic games are kind of homogeneous, like every part of Aquatic Ruin Zone kind of looks like every other part of Aquatic Ruin Zone. So there's kind of not a lot of sense of a place. Yeah, that's more like it getting hit by the guy in the wall. Yeah. There's not really a lot of a sense of place, being in a particular location in a level, because it's difficult to know where you are in relation to anything else that might be going on in the stage. And now I'm underwater with... Okay, there's some rings. Good. Dudes popping out of walls. Not a great move. I better get some air, because I do not want to drown. I love the sound effect when that little blip blip sound effect that he makes when he breathes underwater, but I hate the fact that he needs oxygen. Tails didn't get oxygen, so he's about to drown in 2 seconds. Stupid Tails. And those flies, I have never found out a good way around them. It's like I always get hit there. I can't figure out how to dodge that, so I just have learned to live with it. Alright, here's the boss. It's a pretty easy boss. Robotnik always takes 8 hits, except for his very last form in the very last level takes 12. And I always hated that about this game. Like, it's one of those things, just like a pet peeve. It got like under my fingernails and festered. And you'll see when we get to the last boss why I would much prefer him to take 8 hits than 12. But hey, you know, we got a lot of game between then and now, so... And it's kind of tradition at the end of the level to put Sonic right on the ledge there so it looks like he's about to fall off. Very well animated character. That's one of the reasons we really enjoyed Sonic games as a kid, because even on the Super Nintendo, like even Mario games, you know, characters were not very well animated. But at the time, Sega was very big on making sure their characters had a lot of, I guess attitude is the correct word. But they did this by giving all their characters a lot of animations. Like, I cannot name a Sega Genesis game where the main character doesn't have like an idle animation where he does something if you just stand still. But Sonic has animations for standing still, for standing on the edge of ledges, and he's got several ledge animations. A backwards one, a forward one, an oh crap on the very, very edge of this ledge, you better move me back up before I fall one. By contrast, like Mario can run and jump, that's kind of it. So it shows where Nintendo and Sega were focusing on different areas of their game design throughout the 90s. And I know you could make an argument for why one is better than the other. I'm not going to make an argument in this video because I could probably talk about it for the entire duration of the Let's Play. But for Sonic specifically, I felt like it worked for me. It really... I hate this zone. For Sonic specifically, I felt like it worked for me, because it's one of the reasons I really enjoyed the character was you get to know a character's animations over the course of a game and what he's likely to do in any specific case. So when a character has a lot of animations and you learn a lot about that character, it becomes a very kind of intimate thing. Even if a game is not very enjoyable, if the game can trick you into really loving the character you're playing, it wins. And there's been a lot of games like that over the years where I have to look back and say, you know, really not that great of a game, but I still love it anyway because of, you know, the character is great, or because of this particular level looks awesome, or because this particular music works so well in this scene. Awesome, I lost all my rings, and I'm gonna get dumped out of the stage now. Oh man, I just barely made it. Yeah, I think I probably have all the Chaos Emeralds that I'm gonna get. That's probably the long and the short of it. Because from here on, it's going to be really difficult for me to even have 50 rings at any given time. It's like, probably not even in the cards. It doesn't help that I just left a bunch of rings sitting there right now. $22 rings to go. Yeah, this is not going to work. Not enough rings. Boo! Thumbs down. That's like 95 points or whatever that was. Brick Road's awesome at this game. I have never particularly cared for the quintessential casino levels in Sonic games. Spring Yard is my least favorite part of Sonic. No, Labyrinth is my least favorite part of Sonic 1. But Spring Yard would probably be a close second if I had to choose. Sonic 3 has that... What is the casino level in Sonic 3? I don't even remember what it's called, but I know it's annoying as crap. Awful, awful levels. Boo. Mainly because, I mean, Sonic is a difficult character to control anyway. Part of... I'm not going to say the... Oh, I'm sure the appeal for some people, not the appeal for me, but... Part of what makes Sonic unique as a character is there's a sense of you need to be out of control to be doing it right. You really just throw caution to the wind and just blow through the levels and see what happens. But it's very difficult to do that in the pinball stages because there's bumpers everywhere and there's so much randomness to where Sonic is going to end up moving to. So I always try to just get through these levels as quickly as possible. Thankfully, they're pretty safe levels. I think there's only one type of monster in the entire level. And as long as you can avoid touching spikes or getting crushed, you can pretty well make it through safely. It's just the annoyances of, oh, I'm trying to get up to that ledge, but I can't, there's a bumper in the way, and I keep touching it. But the physics involved are impressive. Definitely impressive for the 90s when we was real. Yeah. And then that's another Sonic game that I hated was Sonic Spinball. My god, I never played that game until it came out on the GameCube collection. It was the first time I played it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll give it a try. I know a Sonic game, I'll play it. And it's like, oh my god, that game was horrible. Why would anybody want to play a pinball game with Sonic? And I'm sure I'm going to get nasty comments about it, like, Brick Road, that's a great game, you hate everything. And no, I just hate that game, because so much randomness involved. It's so difficult to make the character do what you want him to do. And like I said, Sonic's a difficult enough character to control. But they had to give up that element of control in order to create that feeling of you need to be out of control. You know what I mean? That feeling of anything can happen in a Sonic game. So they had to give up that element of tight control. For what it's worth, though, I think it was worth it. I think, like I said, Sonic will never be my favorite game in the universe, but it is unique, and I do appreciate that uniqueness when compared to more tightly controlled games like a Mega Man or a Metroid. So, not a lot of randomness or speed involved in, say, Samus's movements in a Metroid game. She's very precise and very deliberate, whereas Sonic is very kind of bouncing off the walls crazy! So, very different approaches to creating a platform game, and I appreciate both. I like Samus better. I'll always like the Metroid games better than Sonic, but it's nice to know that you can have different kinds of platform games and doing completely different things. So, and that's one of the reasons I think I prefer Sonic 2 to Sonic 3 and the later games. Did I seriously miss that by one ring? Seriously? God damn it. Ugh, I will never get that Jolly Rancher. Okay. But I think that's one of the reasons I prefer Sonic 2 to Sonic 3, is 'cause Sonic 3 does have that sense of you need to find the secret areas and you need to find the hidden giant rings to get the emeralds and etc, etc, etc. So, whereas Sonic 2 is much more of a there are 8 levels and all you have to do is get through them kind of game. So, and you see this also in the alternate characters. Knuckles and Tails both have special abilities in Sonic 3. Ouch. As we saw, Tails' only special ability in Sonic 2 is to get hit by bombs and drop my rings. But in Sonic 3, he can actually fly. I just did that again. Get my ring back. Thank you. But in Sonic 3, he can actually fly. And then Knuckles can glide and climb up walls. And these are all cool things. These are all things that make the game more interesting, especially as those characters, because they give you new ways to interact with levels. But they are slow things. They are very deliberate. When Knuckles is climbing up a wall, there is no sense of, I am moving through the game world. The only sense you're getting is, I hope there's something at the top of this wall, because if not, I've just wasted 30 seconds of my life. Love the music in this zone. It's funky fresh. It's funky fresh like the 90s, when we was real. How many more times am I going to say that in this Let's Play? Probably all of the times. I'm just going to keep saying it. But you can also play Sonic 3, of course, as Sonic, and he does not have new abilities. Like, I think he can do crazy new stuff with the shields, but they're kind of stupid. Nobody cares about that. But he can't fly, he can't glide, he can't climb through walls. He's just Sonic, just like he's always been. And it almost puts him at a disadvantage, I will say, in how the levels are designed in Sonic 3. It's like they went through Sonic and designed the levels and said, we've got a character who can fly and we've got a character who can climb walls. So we're going to design these levels so there's hidden places inside the walls and up in the sky. So then you play as Sonic and you're like, what? Whereas Sonic 2 is just, you just go forward, and eventually you'll see the end of the level, and then you go to the next level, which is slightly harder, but then you just go forward again.